This is 7 News.
Tonight, a government minister under investigation 4 days out from the election over a beach shack.
We've got more questions on this.
I'm happy to take those in a minute, but we're here to do an announcement.
We do it now.
The high-rise fight over Perth's new waterfront.
It would just completely destroy that environment down there.
And no apologies over the booze bus traffic jam that didn't catch any drink drivers.
From the studios of 7 Perth, Ardon and Susannah Carr.
Good evening. The Premier's campaign momentum has taken a hit with revelations one of his ministers is under investigation. Corrective Services Minister Murray Cowper could face numerous charges over alleged illegal land clearing north of Perth. Political editor Jeff Parry reports.
Perth's Swan Valley is a major battleground of this election, especially after the Liberals' broken rail promise of 2008. Jessica van der End is in the Liberal-held electorate of Swan Hills, and Jess, they're desperate to hang on to it.
They are, Rick. To catch public transport into the city from here at Aveley, you need to get a bus to the Ellenbrook transfer station, a second bus to Bassendean and then a train into the CBD. This is a growing area. The Liberals hold this seat with a 3.5% margin, but are worried enough to be spending a bit of time here, concerned sitting MP Frank Albin may be stung by his 2008 rail promise, famously backed up and then broken by Colin Barnett. He's up against a Labor candidate with strong local links. Ian Radisich is the brother of the late former Swan Hills MP Jay Radisich. Voters in Bullsbrook, The Vines, Chidlow and Pearce have 4 sleeps left to decide. Sue?
Thanks, Jess. A row is brewing over a new high-rise hotel at Perth's new waterfront development. Plans have been put forward for a building alongside Elizabeth Quay. Amelia Brune joins us live from Council House, where a meeting about the development is currently underway. Amelia, what's all the fuss about?
Good evening, Sue. Well, the proposal is for a luxury 11-storey hotel to be built on the eastern side of the bell tower. The Perth City Council is currently meeting in the building behind me to discuss the plan, but a preliminary report by the council's own planners has deemed the development too big. It says an 11-storey building would be out of place and simply overshadow the bell tower.
New details have emerged about the final moments of former Perth woman Jill Marr. The man accused of the ABC employee's murder has been charged with raping her 3 times before she died in Melbourne last September. Jill Marr's husband was in court as the chilling new allegations were revealed. 41-year-old Adrian Ernest Bailey is accused of attacking Jill Marr as she walked home from a bar. Jill Marr's murder triggered a huge community response across Australia, culminating in a 30,000-person silent march through Melbourne.
A booze bus that caused a 2-kilometre traffic jam on Mounts Bay Road yesterday failed to catch a single drink driver. But as Rob Scott reports, police say they have no regrets about the operation.
A policeman has been jailed for stealing almost $60,000 at Mirrabooka Police Station. The court heard Robert John Talbot Lawrence stole $57,000 from a secure unit to fund his long-standing gambling addiction. The 40-year-old senior constable resigned last year after he was charged by Internal Affairs. He was sentenced to 14 months jail but could be released on parole within 7.
A 71-year-old West Australian has admitted falling victim to an online dating scam that cost her her life savings. The woman, who doesn't want to be identified, was fooled into thinking the man she was talking to on the internet was an American called Mark. She sent him $71,000 before realising he was a con man from Ghana.
He declared love and wanted to marry me and make a life with me.
Police say they've received half a dozen reports of similar frauds after 7 News revealed the death of West Australian woman Yetta Jacobs. The great-grandmother was found dead in South Africa after travelling there to meet a man she'd been dating online.
A simple test to determine a child's potential health risks later in life is almost a reality. It can detect a vast number of diseases from diabetes to cancer, but parents are split on whether that's a good or bad thing.
The Reserve Bank has kept interest rates on hold for another month. The official cash rate remains at 3%. Nationally, the retail sector still has reason to celebrate, with the strongest start to the year since 2007. Tasmania has led the spending charge, with the only downturn recorded here in WA.
The Queen has been released from a London hospital after recovering earlier than expected from a stomach virus. Chris Reason is in London, where the monarch has spent her first night back home at Buckingham Palace.
Chris Reason there in London. A lucky tourist will be paid $100,000 to wine and dine their way through WA as part of a new tourism campaign. Marketed as the best job in the world, it's aimed at boosting regional tourism and employment. Alexis Donkin reports.
After the break, new hope in the fight against HIV.
Plus security breach. How an imposter posing as a cardinal slipped past a Vatican checkpoint.
And a real-life Batman hand delivers a wanted man to police. In Seven's Money Watch, the Australian share market has closed higher today, buoyed by bargain hunting after yesterday's falls. The ASX 200 closed up 65 points. Retail stocks made good gains after news that Australian retailers recorded their strongest January sales growth in 6 years. Insurance and banking stocks also performed well today. The Aussie dollar is buying 102 US cents and 67 British pence.
Troy McCanty's trial over allegations he assaulted his former girlfriend has heard claims she actually fell downstairs and hit her head against a wall. Mother of two, Tammy Kingdon, accused the defence of making ridiculous and shocking statements.
Hopes for a cure to HIV have taken a giant leap, with an infected baby now showing no sign of the disease. It happened at an American hospital in Mississippi, where a doctor gave a newborn a high dose of antiviral drugs. After the baby's mother stopped giving the medication, it was feared the child's viral load would be high. Instead, the little girl was HIV-free.
We have, perhaps inadvertently, but in fact, cured the child.
It now needs to be seen if early aggressive treatment can work in adults.
An imposter has been caught trying to pass himself off as a cardinal at the Vatican. He made it past a checkpoint before it was realised his purple sash was really a scarf. Inside, cardinals met to begin the process of choosing a new pope.
103 electors were present this morning. 12 are on the way.
A date for the secretive conclave will be set once all the cardinals are together.
A real-life Batman has hand-delivered a wanted criminal to British police. The Caped Crusader walked the suspect into a Yorkshire police station. Officers made a public call for help to unmask the mystery crime fighter after he disappeared into the night. It turns out he's a 39-year-old Chinese takeaway delivery driver who dressed up to go to a soccer match. The wanted man was his friend, who'd hitched a lift to surrender himself to police.
Basil's here with sport now. It was embarrassing for our cricketers today, Baz.
Yes, Sue, it was a big innings defeat against India. The lowlights coming up, and John Worsfold one-on-one. The coach says his squad is good enough to win the flag. And some pictures you won't tire of. We'll show you this lucky escape again after the break.
Hello Angela, Sun with you. There was a bit more autumn rain for Perth this morning, but somehow it missed the city's gauges. The hills recorded around 0.5 mil, and that'll be the last of it for a little while. The next few days will be dry and hot. Right now it's 23 degrees in the city. Winds are from the south-southwest and the pressure is rising. A cloudy start to the day kept the mercury down. It struggled to climb higher than 27 this afternoon, and it was cooler last night. It fell to 15 degrees. It was even cooler overnight at Bullsbrook, where it got down to 12, but it reached 29 there today. It was 27 in Fremantle and Rottnest, and a top of 25 degrees in Serpentine. Roebourne again has taken out the state's highest max. It was 42 degrees. Karratha wasn't far off that, 38 the top, but it was just 29 in Carnarvon and around the mid-20s on the south coast. Tomorrow it'll be even cooler for Albany and Esperance, with showers and storms forecast. Mostly sunny and 29 degrees for Bunbury, and it'll be a warmer day along much of the west coast. There's a bit of cloud around tonight for the southwest, and showers and storms are lingering for the far north. In Perth, it'll start to heat up this week and skies will be clear as a high ridges in from the west. And then on the weekend, a zone of low pressure will build down the west coast, and that'll make for a change. If you're travelling interstate, it'll be hot in Adelaide and Melbourne tomorrow. A possible early shower for Sydney, 27 degrees the top, and looking at similar weather in Brisbane. It'll be a bit choppy on the water tomorrow. Seas will peak at 2.5 metres and the swell will reach 2 metres. Winds will become strong late in the afternoon from the south. Sunny and 31 is what we can expect tomorrow, then a top of 32 for Thursday and a hot one on Friday. It'll get up to 35 degrees, then 36 on Saturday. But there is the chance of some storms late on Saturday and on Sunday that could cool things down, and we may get some more showers next Monday before clearing on Tuesday. It's time now for Oz Lotto. Best of luck. See you tomorrow.
That's all for now. Thanks for joining us. We'll be back with updates throughout the evening.
Monica's next with Today Tonight.